Muktar Mohammed, an analyst at Assar Investments, joins us for that conversation. Muktar, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today. So we're moving ever so closely to that key earnings season to get a sense of how the markets, how corporate Nigeria has performed in the second quarter. But as we move towards that, it does appear as though the market is really losing some steam. What are your expectations for that earnings season, and do you see any catalysts ahead of us?
Well, Wale, if our market is losing some steam, that we're also not going to be too surprised, because even the global market seems to be losing some steam. So it's not something unexpected, and you know the challenges that we have here in the market, especially the microeconomic challenges, and I think that is beginning to play down on our market, especially after the rise in interest rates. So that has not helped our market thus far. But aside of that, yes, the market needs a catalyst, and then those catalysts will come. Now, what we are going to be seeing are investors looking for bargain hunting to get some of these good stocks that are going to be paying interim dividends, and Wood's first quarter results were good. But we know the normal suspects that definitely they are going to pay interim dividends. So what investors will be looking at now is what we call comparing analysis. We'll be looking at the fixed income, the fixed income phase, what you are going to get there, and the dividend yield if you have to take the interim dividend. I think that's what we'll be playing at, because you know that Zenith will pay 30 kobo, you know GTB will pay 30 kobo, you know Access Bank will pay 30 kobo, you know that UBA will pay 20 kobo. So you look at it by the price and begin to take your position, because as we go forward, definitely liquidity will be king going forward in the market.
So the various political parties have now concluded the process to eliminate their select their presidential candidates. I want to hear your thoughts on how you think that will impact the market, and in your view, can you situate that in the context of the concerns around the economy? Because I do believe that's a front burner issue for most investors right now.
Wale, I am excited about the candidate that we have. We have former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. We have APC National Leader Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And also we have the one that this Z generation, or the younger Nigerians, seems to be rooting for in the person of Peter Obi. If you look at these candidates and you look at these three major candidates, you know that economically we will tend to benefit from them, because I think they will more tackle the economic issues and looking at the antecedents. If you look at Atiku Abubakar, he was one of the people that started the privatization of Nigeria, most of Nigerian companies, and also he was there with President Olusegun Obasanjo when Nigeria came out of as a nation, a pariah nation that was accepted and we attracted a lot of investors. And he also a businessman. You look at Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you need to see how he did in Lagos State in terms of attracting investment into Lagos State also. And then you look at those around him also. And then also you look at Peter Obi, you don't need to talk more, he's a private sector man, one-time governor of Anambra State. So when you look at all these three candidates and going forward, you realize that if any of them comes to power, definitely the Nigerian economy is going to benefit from them, because they will definitely tackle these economical challenges, and they will not tackle it with hearsay. They also have an idea of what to do and how to move the economy forward. Then they will need to talk to one or two of their own economic team. And I think for me, the three candidates now, the Nigerian economy will tend to benefit for whoever of them becomes the president of this nation.
Right, but as you know, that those elections are still 8 months out. So that's a pretty long time. And I think while we will continue, obviously, to listen to the manifesto of these candidates and parties, I think the big challenge will be how the economy fares up to that point. Now, what are your expectations for that?
Nothing, Polly. Absolutely nothing. You know, if you're in Nigeria, you know that when it goes to the political tank, economic take the backseat, governance take backseat. So I don't expect anything fantastic to happen. I expect CBN to continue to see how they can manage inflation. I expect them to see how they can do direct intervention into key sectors. And as they are doing that, you don't expect anything from the monetary policy side. they will just be there doing politicking. So
Right.
as it stands now, it's going to be same of same in the short term. But when we begin to get close to that election sometime next year, when we begin to see the permutation, then the economy will begin to react to what we'll be seeing in terms of electoral campaign. But for now, Wale, I don't think there will be anything different in the next 6 months. It might just be same of same. CBN will all be doing all their best to tackle inflation and to see if they can attract foreign portfolio investors, and it's a very Herculean task for them.
So all that said, what's the safest bet in this market? How do you play equities until February 2023?
Then look for strong fundamental stocks, and then also go for those stocks that will be paying interim dividends, and also begin to looking at the long term, not just the short term. I think that is what we should be looking at, not in the short term. I mean, in the long term. In the short term, I think what investors will be doing that look for those fundamentally very good stocks, and for me, that's the key.